All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back to ShoutCraft America. Things got really, really interesting all of a sudden, didn't they? Well, this has been actually a great group as far as I'm concerned. We've seen some incredible matches, and we have one more for you today. And it is going to be the rematch, the legendary rematch, the thing that everyone has been waiting for. It is Hellokitty versus Suppy. Once again, guys, welcome back to the show.
Hello.
Hello.
Suppy, how are you feeling after that match? That was some intense play.
Okay, now I'm going to pawn the Hello Kitty.
Alright, well, I've got to say, Hellokitty, not a lot of people were expecting you to break that out against Suppy, and yet you did. Unfortunately, you weren't able to deal with Kane, who's just been playing super monstrously right now. So, do you have anything left in your magical hat for this rematch?
Oh yeah. Conan, you're gonna get some unexpected builds again. Hopefully, hopefully you don't get too ill like you did last time, and you rage left before I slash dance you in the second game.
Ooh,
you're gonna use the same builds or what?
Maybe we'll see.
You've already used them, man. You've already used them. I've seen them.
Okay,
They've already been reviewed.
You know, if I win today, I'm just going to dedicate 10 shots of drinks on your name. And I'll take pictures for every single one of them.
I'd be happy for you if you won.
So, Hellokitty, did the excessive drinking last night and the subsequent hangover actually help your play today?
Yeah, I mean, especially against Suppy, you know? Because, I don't need that much skill against him. Just one hand, click, click, and win.
You get more creative when you're drunk. You're hungover.
You know, I actually thought about strategies against you this morning, so didn't really take much preparation.
Suppy, this guy, he really feels like he's got a real shot against you. Do you think that's the case?
He definitely does. I mean, his all-ins are really, really tough. I think if we play a macro game, I should be able to come up on top, but it all comes down to scouting. We've played each other a lot. He always puts stalkers everywhere around his base, so I can't scout, because usually I scout and like figure out what he's doing. So it'll be tough, but he's already revealed like 4 of his builds, and I should be able to counter them.
I have to wonder how many more he's got. He is a sneaky individual. I think everyone knows that.
No TTs yet, right? I'm surprised. Where have those been?
I don't know. They're a little outdated.
Oh, I see.
Alright, guys. We're going to go into this final map, and no doubt it's going to be great. We're going to start off on Star Station here. Hellokitty, what have you got to say to Suppy? You've beaten him 2-0 already. Can you do it again?
Yeah, pretty easily. There will only be one of us. One Chinese player stand in the round of 8, so should be me. Pretty easily.
What Chinese player? What? Oh, I'm gonna do this to you.
Suppy, seriously. We're gonna get taken off the air for animal abuse. We can't have that. That's only as far as it goes. I'm so sorry. Alright, guys. Let's get ready to your stations, and this is gonna be really interesting.
Good luck, man.
Have fun.
These guys.
Suppy is so funny.
Oh, man. Okay. Predictions, Kevin, going into this one.
I really like Hellokitty. He's an awesome guy. For people who don't understand the weird sense of humor, by the way, guys, he is really just trolling. He's actually a really nice and humble person in real life, but I think Suppy's gonna take this one 2-0. I really like how Suppy said he already revealed 4 of his builds, which basically means like, hey, I've been watching your games against Kane too, man. And I think that's a very smart thing to do already, obviously as well. And I think if this goes into the late game, Suppy's macro, like past the 15-minute mark, seems to be really, really good. Like it just keeps injecting, always has live, and knows when to tech switch. So I think this is going to be very tough for Hellokitty, but we will see.
Yeah, it will be. We could see surprises, man. Some people... Wow, there's a lot of Chinese going on in the chat. I have no idea what's going on here, but I don't know. It's... A lot of people seem to dislike the whole all-in style, but at the end of the day, it takes a lot of skill to execute that. And as a competitive player, all it really matters is that you win. You know, that your aim is to win. It's not to play a 50-minute macro game where you show off the full range of your potential. It's to win. And if you can... And some people tell you exactly the same thing. Now, Suppy goes he uses the same build twice against Ryung, Roachbane all in. Why? Because it wins. Because it's effective, and no one should ever take that away from him. And quite frankly, it's the same deal here.
No, I couldn't agree more, obviously. You play StarCraft to win, it is very fun to play long games and be entertaining and show off awesome stuff and have flashes multitasking, but if you don't, then you can still make some money while switching it up by playing a macro game every now and then and having lots of different crazy types of builds. I mean, there's a reason why you win. It means that your builds are good and that your execution is good, because hey, everyone would be able to do all in if it's really all that simple, which is obviously not.
No, it absolutely isn't. You see so many players just all in all the time and just fail completely. And this is not something that we see all that much from Hellokitty.
Wow, that sounds like a description of my stream. Are you watching?
Yes, I am quite, actually. That is surprisingly what I've heard from a lot of people, man.
No, it's really not all that bad. I actually, lately I actually had the request to cheese more, because they said every game you open up and expand, give us some crazy cheese builds. You see, so it's not all that bad anymore. But in Wings of Liberty, I have to admit, I was pretty bad.
Good to know, man. Good to know. I actually saw you play against, I think you were in the HOTS beta, King of the Hill. You ended up playing against Crank, and I think you lost in 6.5 minutes. Is that true?
Yeah, thank you for reminding me of that beautiful game.
I remember that game. That was interesting, to say the least.
Newkirk City, that was awful. That was really sad.
Oh, man.
Hey, it's PvP. It's a coin flip, TotalBiscuit. It could have easily been the other way.
Yeah, man. If only you'd built that probe at that time and not the other time. Totally a coin flip, but... Oh, man. Okay. We are in, and it is already on. These guys have already begun the nonsense. We totally encourage that. Some tournaments say, no, you may not chat. We would prefer that you did. It means that we have to do less work to entertain you. Oh, that's nice. I like that. That's cool. So, here we go. In the southeast position, in the Red Trunks playing Protoss, it is...
Hello, Kitty.
Hello, Kitty. Will we be saying goodbye, Kitty? We will find out shortly. Because he's up against this guy, the monster, who just took out Master 2-0 in some amazing games. Let's see if he can repeat that performance. Having lost already this player, he needs a comeback. He is...
Evil Geniuses, Suppy.
Really? Really? We're gonna break out the Mulan references. This is where this game has got to.
Oh, Suppy opening up with the 14 pool. So he's gonna play it very safe. His opponent's actually going up with Gateway Expand, taking both assimilators already.
That's really early for both guys.
Yep. I kind of wonder where he's gonna do it. He knows, yes. Did he lose his probe? Or how did... Wait. If you use the vision thing from Hellokitty, it actually shows creep. I guess that's just a bug in this client. Yeah, that makes no sense. I was really confused for a second.
Yeah,
like, what?
Yeah, that doesn't actually show him the creep. Those worryings, like, hang on, is he seeing the creep in his starting position? No. This is just something that we get to see as observers. It's not something that you get to see in game heart. So, just important to know. Looks like Suppy may, in the trash talk, have actually made an extra drone. That's a little bit unfortunate.
You can never have too many drones as a Zerg player. Certainly not early on.
No, I certainly think not, but we will see. So the Gateway Expand, the Cybercore come down here as well. Going to start off, obviously, with the Zealot, and it's this early gas that I'm really interested in. He started with 2 in each, which is he's been doing, but he never built them on 15. Not at the same time. So that's going to give him a ton of gas to do what exactly?
We will see. Maybe some just gateway pressure with a couple of sentries. It could also be a ridiculously quick Stargate, but that would be very greedy and kind of unlikely after this follow-up, because he doesn't have a wall off in the natural yet. So I definitely think we're going to see him open up with at least 3, if not 4 gates, and move out with a Mothership Core, not necessarily to really commit to something, but see if he can. And if he can, weehaw, and if he can't, well, that's okay. He still probably has something to fall back on. Ooh, a little bit of lag. It's actually Suppy.
That's a pretty interesting build right there by Hellokitty. Was able to disconnect his opponent from the game. That we didn't expect that one, certainly, but this is kind of annoying. This we will most likely have to resume from replay by the looks of it. The admin is like, God no, please no. It's a That's what you get for punching the cat, man. You can never ever trust cats.
Man, I laughed so loud when he did this. It could have looked so wrong if you're watching that without.
Well, no, he isn't,
sound.
guys. That doesn't count. We will be resuming from replay, or attempting to at any rate. Many apologies, but Suppy just DC'd. We're not actually sure why at all. It's entirely possible that the cat ate the keyboard. This will most assuredly be a resume, but we need to be sure that they won't see the builds. So we are going to go and sort that out right now.
Nothing really went down yet, though. The only thing that's really kind of means something is the mothership core that was in production. No additional buildings went down yet. Nothing was being researched, so everything was pretty straight up, and it should be fine. But if there would be one player in the world that I would trust by not looking at the other guy's build, it's definitely Suppy. Like, Suppy would literally cover his own eyes before the game is to the point where he's allowed to look at the screen. Because I don't think there are many more people in the scene as honest as he would be.
Yeah, what we're doing right now is we're making sure we get the players back into the lobby ASAP and make sure they do not look at replays. Obviously, we know whether they're looking at replays or not. Suppy's currently offline, so he doesn't have the ability to do that. Obviously, as soon as he gets back in, we'll bring him immediately into a lobby to prevent that from actually happening.
These two guys, I have total faith that we have nothing to worry about. Nothing. These two guys are too nice for that, man. They're too honest.
I definitely agree. But there's money on the line, who knows?
Of course.
It's an online tournament, it's very hard to prove, but we will do our best to make sure this does not happen. We will be figuring out the best way to resume this without showing the build. We'll be right back. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to ShoutCraft America. We apologize for the delay. We have never had to actually recover from replay before, so we were working out the logistics as well as the ethics of it and where to actually resume from. We have a mutual agreement between the players, and we are confident that everything is all said and sorted. But it happens every now and again, and that's really unfortunate. We actually had a crash from Suppy, which was very unexpected.
Well, that's a beautiful screen, recovering.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? I have seen this screen before. It actually runs the game at about 8 times speed, I believe. It might even run even faster now. At MLG Dallas, it actually took... We had to recover a game that I think was going on for 30 minutes. It took us about 8 minutes to fully load it. Because
that's
it basically...
why I hear all the crazy game sounds right now. Do you hear them too?
No, I actually don't hear that, but there you go. Alright, so the game starts paused. So everything is set up as far as I'm aware in the way that it should be. And we are resuming from... It's about 4 minutes in, I think. So here we go, 3, 2, 1, and the game has now resumed. So actually, we resumed at 2 minutes 45, which is a little earlier than we thought, but bear in mind we can only resume from certain points that Blizzard determines. That's the real problem. It'll only let you do that. We have
I actually don't see the hatchery from Suppy, but it seems like I'm the only one because no one else is freaking out, so I guess that's fine.
No, you're not. You're not the only one. I don't see it either.
Oh.
Yeah, this is... Is this a vision thing?
I don't know.
I'm in Hellokitty's vision. Hang on. Can we
yes.
There we go. That's why. It locked us to Hellokitty's vision. How do I get to my vision? Damn it. This is bad.
You press like 7 or 6, and
is
then
it 7?
Yeah,
that's
like
the RG.
You find yourself. I don't know which slot you were, and then you just click around.
All right, okay. I'm switching cameras, guys. I don't know. It's not finding me.
Well, you can just go all through them, like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Eventually, you'll find yourself. Then you click it again, and then you have a free camera.
I'm not there. I am currently not there. Oh, there it is. Got it. There it. No. Now I press it again. Sweet. Oh,
yes.
Jesus.
Victory?
Got it. I've got it. Apologies, folks. The rather unique combination of resume game and game heart. We had no idea what was happening. Oh, what a mess. We are so sorry, but we're running again. We're running. So, we resumed at about 2 minutes 50. That, I think, was the closest we could get. We disconnected at about 4 minutes 25. This game's actually playing out identically. You can see the lings are coming in at exactly the same time. They're running into the mothership core just like they did previously, and now Suppy's going to leave. So, everything
the mothership core is in a slightly better position, John. I think we have to rehost.
Is it?
Yeah, before it was a little bit more to the left.
Oh, damn, man. To the left? What a terrible thing.
Yes, exactly. Twilight Council is going down. Suppy already mentioned before, we haven't seen the Dark Templars yet.
That's true.
And there is a probe trying to sneak his way to the top side of the map.
Gonna get intercepted. Yep. Yeah, Suppy's all over it, man. He spots that. Very nicely played.
So if Dark Templars were the plan, and that plan is already kind of ruined a little bit because that proxy pylon is not going to go up, so we might just see him fall back to Blink Stalker play and whatnot.
We might. We very well might. I think Suppy will be much better prepared for that this time around. See, that's not going to get out of there at all. It would have been really nice for him to actually send out a second probe, I think. Yeah. And maybe flank around with that, but there's only so many probes you can really send out, especially when you're on a low economy. He's only on 26, so he can't really risk that many. He's going to go DT anyway. He's actually going to give this another try. With all these lings around, it's going to be difficult.
Yep, it's going to be hard to sneak a pylon somewhere out on the map, unless you just want to wipe in the DTs at home. But
just run over the map with them?
Yeah, but it's so likely that that gets spotted, so I think he's going to try to do it once more. Actually, the way it looks right now, that probe will actually go unscouted. Oh, the ling, man, that's on.
It missed it! It missed it! It missed it! Look at it! It was so close. Oh,
but look at the Overlord in the main base.
Yep, that's. Oh, is there an? Oh, did the Overlord just scout the D2 shrine?
Yep.
Oh, yep. Oh, that sucks. I don't know. Well, he's got to be looking out again. Yeah, he's spreading everywhere now. He's like, there's got to be a pylon somewhere. There must be a pylon somewhere. And this probe is probably going to get... No, hasn't been found yet. This probe is playing hide and seek. Currently, it's managed to evade everything. But there's a third base going down.
Yeah, but he did cancel the Dark Templar Shrine. As soon as he got scouted, he cancelled the DT Shrine. So, that sentry is way too exposed. The sentry is going to be picked off, and the Stalker is going to die as well. This is a horrible opening for Hellokitty.
Yeah, really nice move there by Suppy to take both of those out. And now he's in a great spot. The third base has gone down. Third base and Blink. Okay. Interesting. But he's going to try and force a cancel on it, and he actually might be able to. There's enough links here. There's really only 3 sentries and the Mothership Core. Mothership Core doesn't do enough damage. Oh, this is going to be really close. 2 more warp
I think he will get it. He's going to force a cancel. And, if he cancels, he doesn't cancel.
Oh man, he thought he could save it. He was totally wrong.
Yep. So now he might.
This is disastrous.
You might warp it in once more, but that would just be then a big fake, and then just still try to follow it up with a 2-base play. Even though if you take a look at the worker count, he's already up to 45 probes, and he's still building probes, so I guess he's just going to try to rebuild this Nexus all the way up, but needless to say, as soon as Suppy starts producing an insane amount of units, it's going to be extremely hard to hold it, even with Photon Overcharge. Yeah,
Suppy's just going to power out towards Roaches now. He could add Hydras, but right now Roaches would be absolutely fine. I don't know, I'd still like to see a Hydra Den down, especially considering the Colossus tech is just nowhere near going to happen right now, so Hydras would be a great choice. 10 more drones coming in here. He's just powering his economy forward. He's not even interested in attacking right now.
Yeah, I can understand that though, because if you decide to make an insane amount of units of 50 drones, then suddenly you're also really committing yourself, and it's likely that he breaks it, but if he somehow wouldn't break it, or even if he breaks it, but he doesn't kill all the probes and he loses his entire army and he doesn't have anything to fall back on, that would have been quite risky too. So I think it makes a lot of sense to at least saturate that third base, which he's doing right now. He went up to 65 drones, and now he can start producing a lot of units if he wants to.
Scary stuff. So we're going to see a lot of gateways coming in, and it's still just going to be against pure Roach. So there is the possibility that Hellokitty can make this work, but we're talking about unupgraded units versus +1 speed Roaches. You know, if you're going to go for this Blink attack, this is way, way worse than the one that he did against him previously, because it's so much later. Speed for Roaches wasn't finished when this came in. There's way less Stalkers, there's fewer sentries, there's +1. I don't see this working, surely.
No, I actually expect him to bring the Mothership Core as well, which he's not doing yet, because I really don't feel that he wants to commit that badly to it. Yes, he does have a lot of gates at home. He's all the way up to 2, 4, 6, 8 gates. 8 gates and 3 bases. It is quite fine, but I really thought that this would just kind of be like a fake, trying to see what he could make happen and then at least still recall out. But he's leaving the Mothership Core at home for Photon Overcharge in case there would be a run by. So this is actually pretty scary because these sentries are not going to find their way home.
No, they're not. The Stalkers might get away. He scouts. He's actually adding a Stargate on behind this. Funky stuff.
Yeah. He's not going to commit.
He's going double. Yeah, he's going double Stargate behind this.
He's just not going to commit to this at all, which I think is pretty smart. He's going to make a robo. It would have been very unlikely that this would ever work. And if he would lose all those sentries, he would just die to the counterattack.
Yeah.
Right now he still has those force fields to rely on, so this makes a little more sense. But needless to say, Suppy is still in an excellent position.
Yeah, there's no question about that. 64 drones. 67 probes, impressively, for Hellokitty there. I guess he hasn't really lost all that much, and he's been able to build a lot of probes here. This is going to get spotted, but it's going to get cut down. He needs those force fields. Oh, where's the force fields? Where are they? He loses 1 sentry. Second sentry goes down as well. That was not good. Hellokitty could just die right now.
Yeah, there's so many roaches. More force was going down, but these are kind of like panic force fields. Roaches dealing so much damage, they can just run to the third base. There is a photon overcharge over there. Burrow is being used as well, and there is no observer yet on the map. Oh man, this is so smart.
He's about to have an Oracle, which will give him that detection. He's actually rebuilding the Dark Templar Shrine. We might see Archons from him there, but this is so bad for him. He is in a lot of trouble here. He's now going to be able to... Oh no, he's using all of his energy, and I don't think he knows about Burrow.
Yeah, I think he did, because I think that's why he made it, because otherwise he would just make a Void Ray. But as you said, he used his energy now, and he lost the robotics facility with the observer, so he's not going to have any detection anymore. This is GG, probably.
It's looking likely. I mean, I've got to say, Hellokitty just, like, did incredibly well with those blinks, but there's so many more roaches on the way. It's 42 on the map versus 15 stalkers. Doesn't matter how well you micro, you're not killing that many.
And certainly not when you don't have detection. There's still a couple of burrowed roaches in the natural as well. This Nexus is going to take so much damage. He does he have energy for another one? No, he doesn't have photon overcharge anymore.
No, he does not. And even if he did, it wouldn't help because that Nexus is about to die. And Hellokitty is doing his best to hold on here, but it's just nothing but roaches. Power play here from Suppy. A couple of Void Rays are brought in. There's DTs in the mix as well, which is quite nice. But losing his third base there, that is a ton of damage. And the Hydra Den's on its way now.
Yep, he spotted those Void Rays. He realized, okay, I'm going to need some anti-air. Even though I think as soon as he would bring in 2 overseers and just rally these roaches across the map, it's going to take so long for those Void Rays to actually take out those roaches that he would still be able to deal a lot of damage. But yeah, why take the risk?
Yeah, certainly.
Well, seems like he still wants to take a small risk at least. Just pick off a couple of units, dance back and forth. Of course, yes, Void Rays will eventually kill all these roaches, but hey, those roaches will be able to deal so much damage before they die. Suppy's like, you know what, I might as well.
Big mass blink back there as well, rather than microing, losing another Stalker. These DTs are being a bit annoying, but they've just been picked off because the Overseer got in there before the Void Rays were able to take that down, or the Stalkers. Void Rays are still charged, but they're about to not be. The Oracle does have detection this time around, but he is not using it. Again, he is doing...
Wow.
I mean, trying to do damage with an Oracle against roaches is like trying to tickle a bear. It doesn't get you anywhere other than horribly mauled very, very quickly. And Hellokitty is now in a lot of trouble. He is continuing to take big, big punches here by these roaches. He is defending, I think, as well as could be expected. And with these many Blink Stalkers, I think he can hold. But to what end?
Oh, the Void Ray is actually not joining in the fight right now. He could have killed a couple of more roaches. So yes, he's doing this pretty damn well, but he's also taking an insane amount of damage. He's not that rich. Stalkers are pretty expensive. He snipes the Overseer, so that means that right now he definitely bought a lot of time for himself because he could warp in a couple of Dark Templars, but the Hydralisk are going to be the real problem.
Yeah,
and there are 16 of them.
Yeah, and we should also talk about the upgrades. It's 2-0 right now in terms of attack upgrades. These roaches are going to hit hard, but the Hydras with the upgrades are going to be the real killer. Stalkers can't fight against that. They will be torn to pieces, especially with Hydra speed. The only thing Hellokitty can really do right now is hope to reestablish, and, you know, I'd guess maybe he can try a DT attack, maybe, but there's Spore Crawlers at every base now. It's really hard to get out of this, you know. Hellokitty is behind in every respect.
He's gonna have to survive one more wave. He's warping in the robotics bay right now. If he can get Colossus out, then eventually we still have a real game on our hands.
Yeah.
Hydra's speed is only halfway done, so it's gonna take a little while. But like one Colossus is not gonna do it. He's gonna need 2 Colossus, and preferable, he's gonna need a couple of sentries as well. Taking this fourth base right now, I think is way too eager. I don't think he would ever be able to keep that one alive.
No, I think honestly it's more of a desperation move from him rather than anything else. If Hellokitty is able to continually pull his opponent's army across the map, he's already shown this Stalker army flanking around. This is causing a lot of the army to move out here, but obviously there's still a sizable force that's heading over the right flank. Now he moves to engage. Hellokitty's going to get trapped here, I think, if he's not careful, but he's going to take the 4th base out.
He's going to take the 4th base out, that is nice, and Suppy is not sure what he wants to do. Does he want to try to kill these Blink Stalkers or just attack? He's actually sending a couple of units by themselves to this 3rd base. That's not the best idea, because there's quite a bit of defense, but all these Stalkers, I think, are going to die.
Yes, I think so. I don't think there's really a question about that, and I don't think they did enough damage to make it worthwhile. The Blink comes in, there's actually no Lings to stop them, but there's Hydras on the creep are going to be able to kill most of them. The Lings in pursuit will be able to finish this off, I think. Another Blink comes in. Maybe he gets out with a couple, but it doesn't seem all that likely, so... It was a decent move, but there was so much invested in it that I'm not convinced it was worthwhile. We're also seeing a Spire being added on here by Suppy. He'll be able to add Corruptors to deal with the Colossus switch, and even then, the Colossus aren't out yet. We're going to have to see, can Suppy just, like, bring the hammer down on that 3rd? Most likely.
Beautiful sandwich there. He does eventually manage to pick up literally every single Stalker that was part of that attack. There is one Colossus on the map right now, or there will be in a couple of seconds, but I'm afraid it's not going to matter. There are just way too many Zerg units over here.
Yeah, I'd certainly say so. And we're talking about a Colossus without Thermal Lance as well, which makes things even more awkward. You can't really efficiently engage Hydras without Thermal Lance. And that base is just going to melt in like 3 attacks. Down it goes. It's dead. Hellokitty is in a really terrible spot now.
Yep. Oh, Colossus even a little bit too far forward.
Yeah, let's not do that.
We're like, oh, we can actually fight this Colossus.
53 army supplied, 124. Down goes the Colossus. Yeah, I think this is going to be over right now. Hellokitty held on as best he could, but his opening was shut down. His next attack was shut down, and then Suppy's like, you know what I can do? I can attack a lot. That would be good.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Once you have a good economy as a Zerg and you have a lot of roaches, you can just rally them across the map and you're never like super committed. GG is called while the roaches and Hydras are dancing in the natural. Well played by Suppy.
Yeah.
Very well played.
Yeah, totally. And Hellokitty fell to pieces there, I think. You know, in the longer game, he had some ideas. He wasn't able to do that early damage, and he let Suppy get too far ahead, I feel. And I don't even blame Hellokitty for that. It's just that what he was doing was shut down at every turn. I think Suppy was all over his strategy there.
Exactly. I mean, the Dark Templars got scouted immediately, then he cancelled the Dark Shrine. He remade it later, which I thought was a pretty weird decision. I guess just hoping to survive a little longer and trying to get a 3-base economy going and eventually stabilize and try to take it into a real game. But he was just pretty far behind. If you open up with DTs and you don't do anything, you give your opponent so much freedom that their economy will be so much better. I think the best thing that Suppy did is not like trying to get overeager and counter immediately, be like, hey, I'm on 50 drones, I'm gonna try to take out this 3rd base. He could have probably done that, because hey, you can still make a lot of roaches from 50 drones, but it was a lot smarter to go up to like 62, 64, and then just rally roaches across the map. And Suppy did the right thing, and Hellokitty got a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah, that sucked for Hellokitty. No real question about that. We did wonder what kind of build would be broken out. DT, it was a DT cancel into an 8-gate blink, which never actually did anything. But it was the right kind of move by Suppy, as you said. Just like, he could have gone in with 50 drones, but yeah. It would have been better with more, and he waited, and that was great. That was absolutely the right thing to do. So, we'll be seeing it's going to be either Bel'Shir Vestige or Acolyte Wastes. Those are the pools. It's going to be Acolyte by the looks of it. Hellokitty chooses Acolyte. Let's see what it can break out here. Will it be enough?
I also think that there was this one big mistake which we almost forgot about, because this was kind of like a weird game where he wasn't paying attention to his army, and the 4 sentries, all on like 200 energy, just died immediately. Like a couple of force fields did go down, but if he's able to drop much better force fields, then he wouldn't have lost all that much over there, and the game would have unfolded in a different manner as well.
Definitely. I mean, you called them panic force fields at the time.
Yeah.
You're definitely right. It was like, let's just throw down as many force fields as possible and just try and stay alive here. And yeah, that wasn't good at all. Well, we're going to go into the next game, I think. We're not even going to wait. I would like to see how this plays out. So we'll be going immediately into it.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, man.
Your favorite map in the world?
Acolyte Wastes, yeah. I mean, look at all the great games about Acolyte Wastes today. You know, it's been wonderful.
Certainly, Masa against Suppy on this map was fantastic.
Right. Yeah.
It was a really, really cool game.
It was.
And also, Masa against Kane was damn entertaining too, because Masa adjusted so well already to the style of Kane after just one game on Whirlwind. And he played much better, but still a couple of minor mistakes. I did ask about the starport, by the way, and he did say he forgot it on Star Station.
Yeah, Masa, unfortunately, like his macro is amazing, and he's making just this like, it's like he's playing so fast that he misses something, and it's key. So there you go. It's unfortunate, but there it is. All right, Acolyte Wastes, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. And Suppy currently leads 1 game in this best of 3 series. Suppy is 1 game away from advancing to the round of 16 in 2nd place. I think that in itself is kind of surprising to a lot of people, but such is the way of things. All right, here we go. Acolyte Wastes. Hellokitty's choice. Let's see if he can make anything happen here. He is in the red trunks, and he is playing Protoss to the northwest. Versus his opponent, it is Evil Geniuses Suppy in the blue trunks playing Zerg to the southeast.
No clutch intros because we didn't have a break, I guess.
Yeah, I just want to get straight into it. I felt like introing for once. Like, Clutch gets too much of the glory, man. I wanted it for myself.
Clutch kind of deserves it. He's a good man.
He is. He is very, very good at what he does. No real question about that. Okay.
This is an excellent map for really aggressive proto styles, like not necessarily all-in styles, but just like 4-gate pressures, trying to pick off a turret base by Zerg, stuff like that with a Mothership Core that you can always recall out as well, or just a lot of Zealots, like the way that Naniwa display does a lot in DreamHack. This map is pretty damn good for that, but of course Zerg players are starting to get aware of that, so they're also playing a little less greedy on it. The first time Hellokitty busted out the 5-gate, I don't think that would work again, so we're probably going to see him play something different, but I wouldn't be surprised to still see some gate aggression.
Well, we're going to see the Forge initially, so we may see a passive style from Hellokitty, but bear in mind, of course, that Stargate play is pretty prevalent right now, especially behind Forges, so we might see something there. We might see some... I don't think we're going to see super greed from Suppy. I mean, he already went spawning pool first instead of hatchery first, so he's not going to get ridiculous, so the chances of, like, cannons even being a factor here is slim to none. So, yeah, I'm interested to see what Hellokitty can break out behind this Forge, and whether he decides to go for the more traditional +1 approach, or whether he decides to go for a big all-in, or... shame. It would have been nice to deny that for a little while.
That would have certainly been nice. Certainly parting can do it like 4 days, and it looks like a very easy thing to do, like blocking a hatchery, but it's actually pretty hard to not let your probe take too much damage and still do everything on time at home. Like every now and then I'm blocking a hatchery as well, and I'm like, yeah, I'm doing so well, but then actually I noticed that I either forgot the pylon I really need, or I didn't drop my nexus in time, or just something is late.
Yeah.
But unfortunately Hellokitty's probe was a little bit too late, so he doesn't have to worry about that.
Yeah, something I would not recommend, of course, to anyone below Grandmasters League. Don't mess around with that stuff, because you probably forget key things in your base.
Right.
And as we see, even Grandmaster, like top 16 GM players, miss stuff. So it's very, very unfortunate when that happens, but it can occur. Got to be careful. Suppy's going to scout that. He knows exactly what he's up against right now. But what's the follow-up?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to take any extractors yet. He's going to be like, alright, so we're going to play Forge Fast Expand. That means that I can go up to 3 bases pretty quickly.
Yep.
But I'm already worrying about this probe in the right top side of this map, John. I kind of wonder what he's going to do with it.
I'm intrigued. Suppy's having a look around, seeing what he can see. Suppy will eventually find this. As you can see, his rally points actually indicate that he will get it. So Suppy is really on top of this.
Yep, that's an excellent rally point, which ends up at the Zelnaga Watchtower, which gives him global vision of that area as well. So that's just a perfect scout, and that's going to be annoying for Hellokitty, because there's always a reason why you keep a probe over there. Sure, you could just potentially send it to that third base later on, just to get the confirmation it's there, and that you not actually have to worry about some big roach all-in, which is very uncommon, but hey, it's still there, it's still an option, and if Protoss goes super greedy, 1-gate, Stargate, and barely makes any units, a roach boss can still easily work.
Yes, it can. Well, the probe may possibly live, as long as it doesn't take too many corners. And it will be easily caught. The shields are starting to regenerate now, so yeah, the pro's probably going to get back home, but unfortunately it's not going to be plumping down any pylons anytime soon. And we're going to see a very traditional style here from Hell... No, we're not. He just cancelled it. What's he doing? That's a Twilight Council.
So it might just be some blink play once more, 2-base blink.
Yep, maybe.
I don't think we're going to see him try to go Dark Templars once more. He also could have dropped the Twilight Council a lot quicker, but he decided even to research weapons +1, so I think it's much more likely we're going to see a blink attack with +2 upgrades.
I think so. Stalker coming out right now, and Suppy's Zergling will die as a direct result of that, so at least he keeps that away. There's not really all that many lings around the map. There's actually only a single ling on the map right now. Suppy building 4 more here, adding on 2 more extractors. In fact, his 2 initial extractors really, really late, because, well, he can afford to. You know, second extractor going down at 51 supply is about as mineral hungry as you can get.
Pretty much. We mentioned many ways. There are different ways to support these guys. Of course, you can also follow them on Twitter, which... Oh, he's going to go Dark Shrine, by the way.
He's going to build a Dark Shrine. He's building it at the front. What is this?
I have no idea. I guess, like, sometimes putting it in the most obvious spot is the one that they won't scout.
Except there's like 4 lings going right up there right now, and they're going to see it pretty much immediately.
Well, it kind of looks like a pylon, man. It kind of looks like a backup pylon.
Well, it depends if he clicks it or not, actually.
Yeah. It builds a little slow for a pylon, but hey.
I lost to a Stargate play, actually, for this very reason. I scouted with a Reaper, didn't get to click the building, and it ended up being a Stargate instead of a Gateway, and I died to Oracles. It sucked. But I don't know. I think Suppy's probably on top of that.
There were Zerglings actually rallied. Okay, I think those Zerglings are still rallied over there on the right side of the map, because another pylon was going down. Suppy's scouting is just impeccable this game. That's just so well done. He's going to find the probe and he's going to find the pylon, and that's actually a game-deciding move, man. Yeah,
this actually sucks so much for Hellokitty. A warping comes in.
I like that.
He warps in Zealots,
That's very smart.
Good
very,
decision.
Very smart.
Yeah,
because now he keeps not only the pylon alive, but he also still gives nothing away that it could be Dark Templar. Suppy somehow is actually putting the pieces together and be like, oh, this is way too late for a gateway attack.
Yeah.
You probably just really want to keep that pylon alive, so...
Yeah.
He's actually going to make Spore Crawlers immediately, and he will have detection in time.
Here's the thing, though. With 4 Zealots, if he keeps those Zealots alive and actually he can kill a Spore Crawler with the DTs and the Zealots really quickly, that won't matter. There's an Overseer coming in right now.
He's not microing the roaches. 2 roaches died immediately. There's so much DPS in this little attack that regardless of this being scouted or not, this is actually pretty annoying for Suppy.
Well, the
Overseer have to micro the roaches.
He is. The Overseer is about to come down. The 1 DT is still alive. DTs are actually surprisingly durable. Stabs down another one. The Zealots are still in. This is ridiculous.
This is crazy. These Dark Templars and Zealots are just slicing through everything.
Oh my god.
This hatchery will die. The roaches died. More Zerglings coming in, but those are gonna die too. This is not a spot where Zerglings can fight DTs and Zealots.
Well, I wanted to see him kind of focus here, but there's still not enough roaches coming in. He could kill this. He's going to try and take a queen down here as well. I think this is finally going to get cleaned up. Queen goes down in the last one. It's a shame he didn't take the hatchery out, but...
easily worth it, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely easily worth it. Blink is being
20 workers killed. This is crazy. What a... Unbelievable. How the hell did this even work?
That was so awesome. It's just like, alright, like I have a couple of units. He made 5 roaches immediately, but 2 roaches died even before the fight started. And then he was, I think, too busy trying to save other units and macroing up that the remaining 3 roaches died as well. Because yes, roaches of course deal with Zealots and Dark Templars very well, but you actually need to like micro them around. If they just stand there, Dark Templars have sick DPS. Man, I cannot believe that turned out the way it did, but that was super... Man, Suppy lost so many drones. He's in a world of trouble right now.
Yeah, he's
I don't
way
think he has the economy to deal with Blink Stalkers.
Oh, Suppy admits, it's like, wow, I screwed up bad. Yeah, you did. Hellokitty's trying to figure out how that worked the way that it did, but it was actually Hellokitty being super smart, and obviously Suppy saying he didn't have any lava either, but we saw that he misrallied. But, like, what kind of... It takes a very crazy mind to think... You know what I'll do? I'm going to warp in 4 Zealots to keep this pylon alive, and then I'm going to warp in 4 DTs, and then I'm going to attack the 3rd with all of that.
A lot of Blink Stalkers right now. A lot of roaches are in production, though. This is not over yet. These are 25 roaches on the map, and this is crit. 5 more on the way.
But these are +2 Stalkers against +1 roaches with Blink.
Hellokitty's in an absolutely fantastic position, but he's still going to have to micro well.
Yes, he absolutely is, and he's trying to do that as best he can. He's blinking back, and he's blinking really, really well right now. He will lose Stalkers, there's no question, but will he lose all of them? No, he won't. That was impeccable control by Hellokitty.
It seems like
GG!
Game number 3.
Oh my god, Hellokitty. You mad genius.
So finally, Suppy scouted so extremely well. Not only the first probe, but the second probe as well. Then a couple of Zealots being warped in, which I thought was super smart, because I thought, like, he's kind of selling this as a gateway attack. But Suppy immediately realizing, like, nah, this is not going to be gateway, so he made the spores. But then there was just too much brutal force, brutal DPS in that little hit squad of 4 Zealots and 4 DTs.
It was both, man. It's like, hey, no, it's not going to be a gateway. It's actually going to be both a gateway and a Dark Templar attack. I've never seen that done. And it's really cool, and it evidently is something that Suppy hasn't seen either.
No, I mean, I don't think he ever planned on making those Zealots. There's no way. He just wanted to keep that pylon hidden, but he knew that he was going to need to warp in a couple of Zealots to at least keep the pylon alive, and preferable scare the Zerglings away so he won't see those DTs immediately. But yeah, that was... there is no world where that would have gone any better.
The very standard Dark Templar shrine as part of the wall off at the front of the natural.
Yes.
What?
Yeah, that was quite the hero pylon over there as well, or the Artosis pylon, as we like to refer, as it was like powering 4 gates and a Dark Templar shrine and a cannon.
But, it really was. It was working overtime to keep that one working. And we got the final game. That was ridiculous. That was a crazy game between these two. Hellokitty pulling off some great snap decision-making, and Suppy not being able to deal with such an unconventional strategy. And now we go to Game 3.
And... Hey, Game 3, Hellokitty, then I'd say really anything can happen.
Yeah, man. It really, really could.
The map is going to be... I'm pretty curious, man. Bel'Shir or... Yes.
Yeah, Bel'Shir. Yeah. The funny thing is, in the chat right now, Suppy can't figure out... Suppy's trying to figure out how he lost, and he's not sure. Like, Hellokitty's asking, like, what went wrong? It's like, I don't know.
And Hellokitty is like, in which world is this supposed to be so good? He's like, I'm gonna do this more often. Now, I really think it comes down to one split moment where if Zerg actually is able to just group like 4 or 5 roaches together and then you start like dancing back and forth, yes, you will still lose a couple of units, but as soon as he snipes those Dark Templars with the roaches, he is going to be fine. But out of the first 5 roaches, he lost 2 immediately, and then he was too busy with other stuff to keep the other 3 roaches alive, and after that it was just pure Zerglings, and yeah, Zerglings are not ready, man, to deal with Zealots +1 and Dark Templars. So this crazy
then comes in with the
that...
+2 Blinkstalker timing after it, and the roaches can't handle it. That was bonkers.
That was brutal in every possible way.
Crazy man. This guy is out of his mind, and it might be enough. Suppy is like really upset by this. He's like, I'm so bad. It's like he's got to get into a good mindset. He can't get into this defeatist mindset, otherwise Hellokitty will take him to the cleaners again. Apparently, I'm DCing from my own game.
Yeah, it looks like it. We're all waiting for you, and now the lagging screen popped up.
Yeah, I see it myself.
Oh.
I can kick myself, apparently. This is... I've never seen that happen before.
Oh, don't lie. You're just building up the tension.
Yeah, that's clearly it. It's like, just one more DC. It's alright, we're just going to quickly remake the game. We're going to go into the next one very, very shortly, folks. We'll just take a quick break. We'll be right back with the final game of today's festivities right after this. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. We don't think anything's breaking now. The lobby isn't breaking. Everything seems to be working. Rotterdam is still alive, which is a great, great boon for us all. Final map, Bel'Shir Vestige. I'm not even going to ask for predictions, because this series makes no sense at all.
Is that something you often worry about, if I'm still alive or not?
Well, since I have to mute you on Skype for extended periods of time, I can't be entirely sure that you're still living.
Hey, I might have had like my rough periods in life, but I've been living pretty healthy lately, man. I'm drinking lots of water, I'm going to the gym. If anything, I am more alive than ever.
Oh, that is cheesy as hell. Almost as cheesy as Hellokitty, but not quite. Well, this final map is going to decide it all. Will Hellokitty be able to pull the double upset and go through as the second place in Group C? Or will Suppy be able to solidify his reputation as an incredibly strong... I almost said Korean there. It's like incredibly strong American competitor. He plays like a Korean man, what can I say? Well, the man that's standing in the way of Suppy's continued US dominance is this one. In the red trunks, playing Protoss. To the southeast position, it is...
Hellokitty.
Hellokitty. He's still in this game. He's not going to be going goodbye Kitty yet. He's going to avenge the animal abuse that was committed vilely by this man. In the blue trunks, playing Zerg. To the northwest of Bel'Shir Vestige, it is...
Evil Geniuses, Suppy.
Oh man, I don't even know what to expect. I really don't. We're gonna obviously see something at the front here, most likely a Forge play. We'll see if it's a Forge fast expander, if it's a Nexus before Forge. If it's something else entirely, then I should just like give up casting and go home and just watch the rest of this game in silence.
You know, we might see him play in the same style as he did against Kane, because he played extremely well for the first 15 minutes on Bel'Shir, where he was just going up to 3 bases and stuff. But you know, right before when I'm listening, even though I can't hear the player introductions right now, you remember the days when GSL used to have like these random girls like making like a spin and then announcing the name of the player? I think the next time you're gonna do ShoutCraft, I'm gonna wear a skirt and I'm gonna make videos for you. And I'm gonna be like, hello, kitty. It's a promise, okay?
And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up a tip jar where every $100 that's paid means that you don't do one of the intros. I think that would be our most profitable tournament yet.
No, people would love to see me as like the GSL girl. People demand this. You have to give the people what they want.
Well, I guess, you know, if NASL unfortunately is not able to do StarCraft 2 anymore, you've got a shining career as a K-pop group.
Oh, I do. I've already had a lot of stunning performances, man. I have the voice of an angel and I move like Mick Jagger, trust me.
Oh, dear God.
I actually can't sing or dance. I'm horrible.
Oh my God. We're, what, 6 hours into the cast and this is where it's got to. I shouldn't be too surprised. But these guys have actually given us our first 1-1. I gotta point out, every other game in this, even though they've been super close, has actually been 2-0. Every one of them.
Wow, I didn't even notice that.
Yep, it has. There's true facts right there. So we saw a Nexus before Forge, and then a Gateway at the front. Now, you may very well be correct. in the notion that he might try to do Stargate. The thing is, Suppy was watching the games. Suppy's already got an Overlord here saying, alright, I'm just going to keep an eye on you for as long as I can. And hiding the Stargate could be difficult. We've already got Lings scouting around the map again. Suppy's like, attack Pat. It's going to find everything. You can't hide from Suppy, especially not on a map like this. It's not big enough. The Lings are scouting really well around the side. It's going to pick up on this probe, I think.
Yeah, it should. It should, yeah, it will.
Yeah, there it is, there it is.
Suppy's doing that so well, man. I know it's like a basic thing to do, and you could say at this level, every Zerg should do that. You'd be surprised how hard it is to always find every single probe there is, because your opponent moves the probe around as well. And it's kind of like a guessing game, you know. You know that the Zerglings are probably on their way, so you try to dance back and forward a little bit, but Suppy's just doing that really well, finding the probes every single time.
Yep, Hellokitty gets out of there and uses the right move to get back. Not a lot of turns so that the Zergling can't actually kill it. The shields will regen, so he'll get home. But it's nice to send one out there just in case. But to be fair, I don't think Hellokitty really expected to be able to use that probe. He was just, it's a little roll of the dice that's fairly minimal risk. And if it does work and you get a pylon down, great, wonderful, you can pressure that third. But in this case, that's not going to happen. So, first things first, you need to get rid of that Overlord, and then we'll probably see what kind of tech's going to come down. Robo at the front here.
This one is super at the front, so every single time a unit will even come remotely close, it's going to see it immediately.
Yeah.
But it might just be like a standard Robo into 3-base, and I would really love to see that. Of course, something that I always worry about whenever I play like this is like, if I want to go up to 3 bases like this, I worry about Mutalisk a lot. But I guess if you are that worried about it, you should be able to see it coming in time. Unless he has something different in mind and he's just going to go for 2-base play. Maybe some good old Immortal Sentry.
Maybe. I mean, it kind of looks like Ohana, right? This should work. But in this case, Hellokitty's actually going... He took his 3rd and 4th gas at the natural fairly quick, I would say. Like, in comparison to... He could have delayed it longer than this. So maybe it could be Immortal Sentry. Maybe it's that... I mean, it could pull out the Colossus build again. It's a possibility.
I don't think he's going to go for the Colossus build. I think he knows that Suppy watched that game, and also Suppy is much less of a... Well, there goes the Robo Bay, though. But it might just be like a more of... at least like well protected against Roach 2-base play as well. Of course, there are 2-base Colossus plays which are not all about the Colossus, but if you have 3 Immortals and you also have enough Sentries, you can actually deal with Roaches too. Interesting.
I really think this is the build that I saw... Oh, who played it? It was Startail versus MVP. And I'm pretty sure Vampire pulled this build out, actually.
Sounds very, like, very... what's the word I'm looking for? Very... Well, it's pretty likely that Vampire used that build because I've seen him play like that in the past.
Yeah, it's a 2 Immortal, 2 Colossus, Gateway, like, big timing with +1, if I recall correctly. It might not be that. It could be anything else, but I did see him do that against Zerg, and it just ripped them to shreds. It wasn't on this map, though, and it could be different, but I'm just kind of tossing that out there. The Hydra Den's coming down, though, from Suppy.
Yep, this is looking good, because I don't think that Suppy is expecting Colossus. He might be expecting a Gateway player, or at least Immortals, but not Colossus. There's only 1 Immortal on the map this time. Oh god, Suppy's actually going to be in trouble if he's going to deny Roaches, if he's going to deny the Roach speed upgrade, and he's going to rely on Colossus, on the Hydralisk to defend this. It's going to be damn tough, you know.
I'm really surprised that Suppy hasn't tried to scout it. Like, he could have... This is all at the front, and Hellokitty has his Colossus there. This is imminently scoutable, and yet Suppy is blind countering him, and he's wrong. Like, he's building the wrong units for this.
Suppy scouted the main base, but that one Overlord he sacrificed saw absolutely nothing, and right after it died, more and more gates went down. Yes, a couple of units in the front would have scouted it, but I guess he just couldn't dream that he actually would be able to scout this. And man, this is going to be extremely hard for Suppy. There's going to be a lot of force fields. There are going to be 2 Colossus. Hellokitty is busting out the same build as he did once. He is hoping to face a blind Hydra opening without any Roaches. This is exactly what he's facing. If this build is ever going to work, it's going to work right now.
Yeah, certainly. And this is definitely Super's build. It's very, very similar. Maybe minor variations, but... let me just say this, like, the game ended in about a minute when Super broke this build out. It was brutal.
The force fields are going to be brutal, the Colossus are going to be brutal against the Hydralisk. Before the action kicks in, I do want to say once more, if you guys love watching these guys, make sure to follow them on Twitter, and it's twitter.com/EGSuppy or twitter.com/HelloKittySC2. Which is
2
important.
pylons going down and a warp prism, so he can micro with it and he can warp in with it. He's got everything he needs to make this work. Suppy has got to be set up for an amazing flank. He actually has the opportunity to flank, I think, using this creep over here, but this is going to be ridiculously hard to hold. If Suppy holds this, it will be incredible.
There's going to be so many force fields. This is going to be really hard. The first force fields will go down. Hydralisk trying to connect with these gateway units, but I don't know, John.
Those force fields were great. He's got a few more available as well. He catches a few more Hydras up to the flank right there. This is super ugly. It really, really is. Drones are coming off the line. Big warping comes in here as well. I think Hellokitty's got it. I think this was exactly the right play. Oh, beautiful micro by Hellokitty. Absolutely fantastic micro by Hellokitty. What the hell is this by Hellokitty? This is ridiculous. Unbelievable. How is he doing this? Unbelievable micro. The 2 Colossus are still alive. What?
Really well done. The warp prism is still alive. More Stalkers being warped in. And Hellokitty is going to complete the offset here. In the first series that didn't end 2-0. He's going to...
Oh, this only gets through, kills 1 Colossus, but I don't think that's going to matter. The Immortal is still there. There's still another Colossus up. GG, Hellokitty finishes it off and upsets Suppy again. And he will go through as the 2nd place. I am astonished. Like, that was incredibly well executed. And it was... I'm almost convinced that was Super's build, and he watched that GSL game and he executed that build perfectly. And Suppy made a bit of a tactical error not to scout the front. A single Zergling could have maybe seen that coming, and more Roaches, that could have been a different game entirely. But with pure Hydra and no flank, you're not killing that. It's not going to happen.
This was just like... as you said, it's so simple. If he has 1 or 2 units in the front, he is going to see that Rumble Bay, he is going to see that Colossus, and he kind of knows what's coming, because he even saw him use the build against Kane. But it's just, yeah, if you open up Hydra Ling, and he did make a Roach Warren pretty early on, but I guess he only used that in case he had to deal with like gateway aggression, and after that he never planned on making Roaches, he never went for Roach speed. I guess he just kind of figured out, hey, I'm probably playing against Stargate, or maybe some Blink Stalker play, I'm going to be fine with my Hydra list. Yeah, just the wrong unit for Suppy, man. There is nothing he could have done other than scout better, and it's such a simple thing to say, but that's really what it all boils down to.
It really does. It really, really does. Good lord, that. You know, I'm kind of right that I'm kind of glad that I was right on the build there, because it meant that you could kind of see the result coming, and it made the game a lot more tense as a result. Because if you know that build's coming, and the guy's like, you've got to scout. You've got to see this. You must build Roaches right now. You've got to be set up to fight this. Because right now, that build is super strong. And I use that pun deliberately. Yeah. It is really, really good. And
it's really good, certainly, because of the current state of the meta, where Zerg players do not like to make a lot of Roaches if they don't have to. Because it's just like, kind of like, that's kind of like a waste of money, you know? I'm just going to get my Hydra list. They are good against everything. They're good against gateway units. And no one goes 2-base Colossus anymore, right? Well... I guess not.
Yeah, they do. And it's funnily enough exactly what Caldo and Wolf said during that game. It's a meta breaker, and that's why it's coming back into style, because it plays so well against Hydras, and Hydras are very popular right now, and there are also a lot of players going pure Hydra because it counters gateways so hard. And you can't force field them as easily. You can just smash gateways apart. It deals with Stargate really well too. It shuts down a lot of things except that. And if you build it, they will come. And that was... I mean, and it was perfectly executed. Don't take anything away from Hellokitty.
No.
Like, the only one mistake he made was losing that 1 Colossus, and by that point, it didn't matter. Like, that was just a fluke.
Exactly. By that moment, the game was over. He just did everything well, and that's really, like, you gotta praise Hellokitty for the amount of different builds he knows. Yes, a lot of them are very aggressive, are very all-in-ish, but he all executes them so extremely well that he is such a dangerous opponent, I think, for anyone in this tournament, man.
Yeah, that's insane. That was really well executed, incredibly so. And he advances, and he will play the first place from Group D.
I think he's going to have a really realistic shot against anyone coming out of that group, because, as we already pointed out before, I think Group D is a very even one, whether you face the #1 seed or the #2. I don't think it's going to change or matter all that much. I'm much more worried for the #2 coming out of Group D, who's going to have to play against Kane.
Oh, yeah. Kane is just on fire right now. But Hellokitty, I think, has proven his point today, honestly.
That's great play, and it's really fun to see him do so well. He's been around for quite a while, not always as well known. He basically got a lot of like sort of in fame because he was in WCS and the Muslim wasn't, and people kind of like immediately like, oh, no, then we don't like Hellokitty. Like, hey, it's not his fault. He got offered a free spot and at least $1,500.
Right?
Yeah, anyone in the world would have taken it. What do you guys expect to say? Like, nah, I don't really want those $1,500 for free. I think someone else should get it instead of me.
Yeah,
but he played some great games and after that he played some great games in WCS. Like he had a rocky start, but after that he played a really cool series and then another one. And now today playing some really cool games as well in ShoutCraft. So I think he's getting a lot of fans and he totally deserves it.
Great play. Absolutely phenomenal play, and really well controlled as well. It's a difficult build to execute properly, because if you make one misstep, then you will lose a Colossus, or you'll lose your Immortal, or you will just not get the sentries down right. It is a very skillful build, and that's why you see like top Korean pros using it, and failing with it as often as they succeed, because if you make one mistake, you're dead. You let the Lings in, or you let a Hydra flank come in, or you mess your force fields up, or you lose a Colossus, and it's such a knife-edged build, and that was incredibly well played. I'm very, very impressed with Hellokitty. As far as I'm concerned, everybody else should be too. And now there's the bracket. That's what we see. So Massa takes an unfortunate fall, going 0-4, but none of those games were close. I don't think that score really reflects his skill level, honestly.
No, not at all. He played some really good games, and he played two fantastic North American Zerg players. This wasn't Massa's day, but on any other day, he could have at least taken a couple of maps, if not series. He's an excellent Terran player, and I'm sure that everyone is aware of that.
Yeah, I certainly think so. Massa, sad. Hopefully we'll see him in Season 2, assuming that happens, which I hope that it will. Suppy actually goes... I think he went 3-4. I think that might be slightly incorrect. Let me just refresh the... Yes, I'm just going to refresh the bracket here. There we go. So we actually missed the number. So Suppy went 3-4. Very, very close series. But Hellokitty was his bane. And let's be honest, this is an example of preparation. Hellokitty prepared for Suppy. Suppy didn't really have a lot of time to prepare for Hellokitty, and as a result, he was able to deal with him quite nicely. And then Kane, I don't even know what they've been feeding Kane in the root house, but Jesus.
Nah, Kane is so damn good. It's going to be so much fun to follow his journey through the bracket, because I really think he's going to go very far. I'm excited, man. We've got some really great quarterfinals coming up, but of course, you're still going to have Group D as well.
Yes, we do. We're going to have Group D. That will actually be on Friday. We're going to have 3 days of Shoutcraft, mainly because we need to fit it in before WCS, because Blizzard will shout at us otherwise. So Friday the 17th at 2 p.m. EDT, I will be casting there, and I actually don't know who my co-caster is yet. We'll find somebody. I believe it... oh, yeah. Day 9 is actually playing a Magic the Gathering tour. And he says if he's really terrible at Magic and bombs out in day 1, he will cast day 2 and 3 with me. But it depends. He's part of the Pro Tour right now, so...
Knowing Sean, he's not really terrible, because I think Sean is pretty smart, and he's often very good at what he does.
That's very, very true, although Magic has a tendency of screwing you over at the worst possible opportunities, so you never know, you never know. So that's on the Friday, then Saturday, same time, again, we do everything at 2 p.m. EDT, then that will actually be the round of 8 right then. So we will be going straight into it, because we just don't have a lot of time, and then the round of 4 after that will actually be played on the Sunday. So we're going to clean up everything next weekend, and once we've done that, we will be going into the Grand Finals. The Grand Finals will be flying 2 players out to the MLG studios, and we will basically be the warm-up act for WCSNA, which will be pretty cool. And I'm looking forward to that. Nice little offline final. Have the guys in the studio. They'll be actually staying in the Pro House there as well, and that should hopefully be really fun.
Which day is the final? Is it like right at the same weekend as WCS?
Yeah, I think we have the date for that. I'm just going to double check that for you. I believe it was subject to change, but I believe it is planned to be... Let's see the schedule. I'm sorry, the schedule's actually not coming up for some reason. I'll have it in a second. I thought it was like the 21st or the 22nd. Ah, there we go, yes. It's the 21st, so that should be on a Tuesday. It should be just before WCSNA on that day. And I will be co-casting with Axlov in the studio. There'll be a dedicated observer. There'll actually be production, so we shouldn't fuck it up this time, which would be nice. And that'll be the roundup of the tournament. Nice and short.
But a lot of fun.
yeah, you know, we had to compress this tournament because otherwise we'd have run into a bunch of other stuff in June, like there's E3 in June, which not only a lot of American pros are actually going to be at for various reasons, but I'm going to be there as well. That's a big industry event, biggest industry event of the year. And then, of course, we've got DreamHacks coming in, we've got MLG Anaheim, we've got WCS everywhere. So we had to compress the time on this one. We really want to do a big round of 32. We really want to do a big tournament where everyone has loads of chance to prepare and they get a month to ladder and actually compete. But right now, we weren't able to do that. But looks like, you know, we're really happy with the way this tournament's been going on so far. Roddy, thank you very much for coming to CoCast today. It's been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, more than welcome. I had a lot of fun. I really think it's awesome what Jenna and you are trying to do for the North American scene. We definitely need that. We, as in like me being here as well, North American. I think it's awesome that these guys are not only getting some guaranteed prize money, but also getting a lot of spotlight time with a lot of people watching. So thank you and Jenna for doing a fantastic job and putting this tournament together. And of course for having me on the show.
It's always a pleasure to have you on the show, man. Very, very much appreciated. But a big thanks, of course, go to Jenna for making this tournament possible and also for providing support during the actual event itself. Big thanks go out to our admin, Vaqueth, who did a fantastic job and also figured out the stuff like resume from replay that we didn't actually know how to do, so that's always good. A big thanks to the guys behind GameHeart. RT Shutter, I believe, is his name on Twitter. You can follow him there. And also thanks to @ZookDoesStuff for all of the assets. And a big thanks also go out to Brum for the intro. He is responsible for the intro in the ShoutCraft America loop with the big battle cruiser. It's pretty damn fantastic. Big thanks go to, of course, Reddit, Team Liquid, and all of the StarCraft communities. Thank you for supporting this event. And big thanks go to the players who put on a fantastic showing. Alright, folks, we're about done. Thank you very much for watching ShoutCraft Group C. We'll be back with Group D next, well, this Friday, I suppose. That will be in a few days' time, Friday the 17th at 2 p.m. EDT. My name has been TotalBiscuit.
And I have been, or I still am, Kevin von der Kooi, also known as RotterdaM. I never do this, man. This is like the first time anyone ever sets me up for this. I know you guys always do it, but has never been my thing.
It's never been your thing, but you get a chance to do it now. You know what it feels like.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels weird to like introduce myself. Normally other people do it.
Alright, folks, thank you very much for watching. It's been a great, great day of StarCraft 2. If you missed any VODs, they're available on the Twitch channel in 60 FPS, or alternatively, you'll be able to watch the full series cut on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/TotalBiscuit. If you missed Group B, it's already up on YouTube, or you can watch it on Twitch, whichever you prefer. Thanks a lot for watching, folks. We will see you next time.